And next up is Neil Chilton from Printed Electronics Ltd. And he will present on increasing the productivity of micron-scale printing with Superfine Inkjet and other tools. So welcome on stage and over to you.
Okay, thanks Martin, that's great. So my name is Neil Chilton. I'm one of the founders and the technical director at Printed Electronics Limited. We're a UK-based company. And today, together with our partners at SIJ Technologies, who are somewhere in the room past these bright lights that we can't see, I'm going to be presenting on improving the productivity of micron-scale printing using SIJ and using other tools. So, although I'm the technical director of Printed Electronics, I just want to get out of the fact that I am trying to sell you something. So, once that's out of the way, let's continue the rest of the presentation. So basically, Printed Electronics is a well-established manufacturing company. We've been going since 2006. We got the domain name printedelectronics.com in late 2005, so we obviously thought there was something in this printed electronics business. And we've been basically manufacturing and developing systems and ideas since then. So primarily manufacturing. Secondly, equipment and material sales. And it's very nice here to be bookended by Dove and by Martin next, two of our partners in the equipment side that we also sell. We also develop equipment and we also develop materials, but we sell materials and equipment from other people too. And we do process and product development and research and development projects, both our own, for our own products, and for and on behalf of other companies, and those companies tend to be much larger than ourselves. So we're a production-focused product development company. We're based in the UK. We're doing manufacturing. My personal background is I did semiconductors in Japan, and then in the 90s came back into the UK and went into the printed circuit board industry. And we're actually still based within a printed circuit board company, the UK's largest PCB company, part of the Amphenol organization. And when we originally started Printed Electronics, we thought that maybe this new printed electronics thing would be able to replace some of PCB. And in some cases it can, but in most cases it actually augments things that already exist. So we're not trying to replace PCB. PCB does things that printed electronics will never be able to do, and vice versa, which is the important part to remember. If you're in the UK, you're very welcome to come and visit us. We have a production facility in Tamworth, which is near to Birmingham in the UK. So we focus on manufacturing and production scale-up. We do process and product development. We work in areas such as 3D and conformal. We supply and sell a lot of equipment, but because we do manufacturing with that equipment, we sell the equipment on the basis that we know how to use it. So we've learnt a great deal about the equipment that's shown on this page here. We also do industrial training and electronics design and other areas as well, such as fabric and wearable. But today I'm going to be focusing on the area of printing, which is manufacturing with liquids. So everybody in this room who works in a particular printing area knows that their own printing method is excellent in some areas and has weaknesses in other areas. So there isn't one printing method that's going to solve all of your problems, but this slide kind of demonstrates what the issues are with printing technologies. For example, inkjet. Inkjet is where we started. When the company first started, we were going to do everything with inkjet. And inkjet is excellent for deposition of materials. But it's what happens on the surface, what happens on the substrate, which is crucially important for a particularly low viscosity deposition. And this slide here just shows some examples of ink jetting onto a non-absorbing surface and what can happen on that non-absorbing surface. And it gives you some indication of the challenges that you have to take into account, both the jetting and also the substrate interactions. And the reason you might not see as much inkjet here as you might have done maybe 10 years ago is really because the inkjet community really focuses on high volume production throughput. And in those cases, printing onto an absorbent substrate really gives them a massive advantage, or printing something that you can UV cure. So those are the areas where UV printing where inkjet printing is absolute mainstream. And in some cases, of course, you can use inkjet and other technologies as well on absorbent substrates, but that's not the usual case for what we're doing here. So assuming that you perhaps don't have an absorbent substrate, which print method should you use? Well, as I've already said, there isn't one print method that solves all of the problems. If you're doing very high volume production, flexo and gravure would absolutely be something you'd look at. From a cost-benefit point of view, that'll be the one to go with. But in reality,